so I'll make it out. But welcome, and you guys. I am Divine BK. Period. This I gotta get used to this new update. But I am Divine BK. This is a spirituality channel, and my content helps you to increase your intuition, expand your consciousness, and reclaim your power in a grounded and relatable way. Today, we're actually going to get into a spirituality class. It is going to be about spiritual entities. So, I'm going to go over four different spiritual entities slash demons that are very common in that realm amongst the collective or society, we'll say. I keep bringing up the word society because I feel like um, this is not just something that happens in my collective, technically. So I feel like I've been using society a lot or interchangeably in a collective. But that's what we're going to get into today. I'll give it a few minutes, about 5 minutes as usual, to allow some people to come in. But if you are watching this on the replay, you can, and that's when we'll get started on the lesson. If you are new here, welcome. Thank you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. If you guys are not new here, welcome back. And child, I was supposed to do this at 9 this morning. It is 2 o'clock in the afternoon. One thing I'm gonna do is be late to some shit, bruh. One thing I'm gonna do, like CP time is a real thing. Like I don't know what it is. Like even if I set an alarm, I still be late to the shit. So, so I don't know what's going on, but I'll give it some time. And I want to say thank you everyone and congratulations for everyone who was on this week's road opener as well as Money Candle. The group candle did get completed and it burned really well, actually. Oh, and you guys, I have another announcement that's very, very exciting. But I'll hold off on that. I do want to finish out with the candles. So for the candles, we did finish those out. The group money candle and a group road opener. So those have been completed for you guys. The next candle lineup that we're going to get into is the Feeling Like That Girl candle. It helps to build your confidence as well as increase your intuition. Okay. Yes, no weapon formed against shall prosper. All evil eye is blinded and blocked, and it shall be returned back to its sender where it is not effective here at the divine. But anyway, let me be a little bit more specific. Joined the Feeling Like That Girl candle, and this was like a few weeks ago, maybe a month or two so have passed. But she's a journalist, and one of her articles ended up going viral. It reached over 1.2 million people. So, hello, welcome in. It reached over 1.2 million people. I want to show y'all the screenshot, but we can't share on here. We can't share screens on here. So that's the only thing I really don't like about YouTube. But yeah, 1.2 million people. So if you guys are interested in the Feeling Like That Girl, or if you're looking to feel like that girl, I will definitely stay tuned and stay posted to when I will be dropping that candle lineup, which is not right now at this time, okay? But I also did add to the YouTube subscription my new, well, it's not new, but it is the revamped version of my Crystal ebook is now available for purchase on Amazon Kindle. So if you are a Amazon user, if you like to use Kindles, if you are ebook user, definitely check that out. Hello, you guys, welcome in. Thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you are here with your girl, okay? And the print version of the book will also be available soon. But right now, it is available for purchase. So I did include that in the description. Well, not the description, but what is it called? Is it a bio? Is it a, I don't know what it's called. Yeah, it's in the description. So in my page description, okay? That's where you can find it. Um, oh, perfect. Okay. And it's about 5 minutes, so we're about to get started on the class. And I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm not as prepared. Hey, girly. Ella habla inglés. Sí, habla inglés y español. Um, but what was I finna say? I was finna say something. The ebook, the candle lineup. Oh, yes. So for the Crystal ebook, the print version, will also be available soon. So you guys will be able to purchase the actual physical copy of my Crystal ebook. But right now, you are able to purchase it on Amazon, and it is linked in the description in my bio. Okay, so you guys can check it out right there. And thanks for supporting your girl. I love it. Okay, so let's get into this class, y'all. I know it's going to be a lot of questions. Like I said, I'm not as prepared as I wanted to be. I wanted to give you guys about seven, but I'm only going to give you about four of the seven different entities. But we are going to start off with the most important one. Um, we are going to start off with the most important one, which is the demon of sabotage, which is called the Belial spirit, okay? Or the Belial demon or entity, whatever you want to call it. But it's really a spirit. That's why we have good spirits, we have bad spirits, we have benevolent spirits, we have malevolent spirits, but it's all spiritual, okay? Everything is spiritual. So we're going to start off with the Belial spirit, which is the spirit of lawlessness, rebellion, and self-corruption. So Belial thrives in chaos, pride, and ungoverned power, okay? And manipulation. So ungoverned power is basically in ways that you don't know how to control yourself. Okay. On the undisciplined version of yourself. That's what ungoverned power means. And this could be as a child, this could be as an adult, it can be at any age your power can be ungoverned. Okay. Which is why discipline is so important. And for anyone who is a follower of Christ's spirit, whatever the creator of your belief choice is, anybody who lacks discipline is truly not a believer, is truly not a child of God. And that's the truth. And the reason I say that is because that's literally if I don't care what chapter in the Bible you turn to for our Bible thumpers here, because I don't care what y'all study here. My teachings are universal. Religion is meant to break us apart. Spirituality is actually meant to bring us all together. So for the people behind the scenes trying to find reasons to pick somebody apart is the exact reason why they're able to do so in the world. Okay. And that's on period. If you know your Bible, you can't even argue with the things that I say because that means that you actually know what you're reading. Now, if you're arguing, then you just read it and you're not comprehending. All right. But anyway, that's one of the biggest things in the Bible. God instills discipline in his children. He doesn't do it to punish you, he disciplines you in several different ways. It speaks about it in many versions of the Bible and many books. Okay. And the only reason I brought up the Bible is because most people are on this abyss of spirituality. It's like the only thing that they do know or did come from was either Christianity or Catholic or, something of that nature. But anyway, Bilal shows up. And if you guys need me to repeat any of this information, please let me know and I will slow it down. I will repeat any information that you guys may need. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Okay. Um, But please try to keep the comments, questions, and concerns on topic with what we are discussing. Okay. So, why Bilal shows up? Bilal spirit shows up to expose false leadership and toxic power dynamics. It shows up again to expose false leadership and toxic power dynamics. And if you see me looking down, I'm just looking down at my notes. Whew. Okay, so number two, Bilal also shows up to reveal where you abandon self discipline. Okay. So, this is why I personally call the Bilal spirit the spirit of self sabotage because it is also the spirit where you abandon self discipline. And that's all that self sabotage truly is. So, self discipline is the highest form of self love because you're commanding yourself of a task and following through with it. It's easy for somebody else to tell you what to do. It's hard for you to get up and do things that nobody is forcing you to do. Nobody forces me to do these lives every day. Nobody forces me to do these collectives every day. Nobody forces me to go to the gym or to work out every day. Nobody forces me to do those things. That's a level of self-discipline that I get up and I do, right? For myself. Same way you guys get up and you do whatever you do for yourself. But for the people who don't get up, who only can do things that people are telling them to do. Oh, you got to go to work from 6 to 12. You got to go to work from 9 to 10. You got to stay outside from da 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 da. You're only doing what others tell you to do, which instills or shows you that there is a lack of self discipline. If you're not able to command yourself of a task and follow through with it, that's a lack of self love, therefore, a lack of self discipline. Okay, so one was to expose false leadership and toxic power dynamics. Two is to reveal where you've abandoned self discipline. And three is to tempt you into self betrayal or false sovereignty. Okay, so remember the domain is chaos, pride, ungoverned power, and manipulation. So if someone comes in, I'll just give an example because I feel like I want to give examples for these. Um, I don't know, let's say somebody's battling drinking and you've been self-disciplined, right? You love yourself enough to where it's like, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to show up for myself in the best way possible. You've been that because we all battle these demons. We all battle demons of some sort of shape or fashion, right? But when you're conquering these demons, this is what it looks like. Let's just say you did have an issue with drinking. Okay, so the spirit of Belial is showing up. You want to go out, the people or it's tempting to show up or something like that. Let's say like that. It's tempting. It's like, all right, come on, let's go drink, let's go do this, let's go out with the boys or whatever, or with the girls or whatever. And then the peer pressure, the manipulation, oh, you don't gotta do that. You still gonna be all right. Da, 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 da. You're abandoning yourself, which is you're abandoning your self-discipline. And then you also betrayed yourself because you were on your sobriety, you were on your sovereignty, but now you have a false sense of sovereignty. You betrayed yourself by going out and having this drink, which is also a lack of self-discipline, but you were manipulated into doing these things, right? And this shit gets so deep. Like I can think of so many different ways that this shows up. And even for yourself, because I'm seeing somebody, and this is like something that even I used to do, right? With like smoking. I used to like be like, well, it's okay. Like you can smoke today or you can smoke right now. And it's like, nah, like I'm gonna just chill, like wait till later. You know what I mean? Or wait until tomorrow or wait until this. But that pride in me was like, girl, you still the shit whether you smoke or not, right? The inner chaos. Because remember, most of us thrive off chaos because that's all that we're used to. Girl, you'll be all right. Go ahead. And then X, Y, and Z. And those are just different examples. Okay. So the spiritual reason that Belial shows up or appears is when you are being called to define your own moral code without external control. His energy teaches self mastery through challenge and forces you to reclaim your authority, not through ego, but through truth. And I'll say that one more time. Belial appears when you are being called to define your own moral code without external control. His energy teaches self mastery through challenge and forces you to reclaim your authority, not through ego, but through truth. Okay? Ooh. All right. Let me know if you guys got that. Give me a thumbs up, some sort of interaction, so therefore I can move on. Move on. Move on. Yeah, Miguel. Give him hell, Miguel. I got a nigga. I got a nigga. I got a nigga. I got a. That's so great. All right. I don't want to be on here too long, so I'm gonna just run through it. Um, and then if you guys have any questions, definitely just rewatch the video. I'll be sure to post this. I'm gonna try to keep it under I'll say 45 minutes. I'm gonna try to keep it under 45 minutes. I'm cracking up. I heard it's cheaper to keep her. I don't know why I just heard that. I don't even know what that's about. But yeah. Anyway, let's keep going. Asmodeus is the next spirit that we are going to cover, which is a spirit of lust, obsession, and possessive love. Okay. So the domain for the Asmodeus spirit is carnal desire, addiction to attention, and romantic chaos. Have you ever met somebody who just does the absolute most? Like, why are you doing that? What is the reason? What is the purpose of you being belligerent and acting out of turn? What is the reason? What is that about? Why are you acting in such a way? Okay. So that's significant. Why Asmodeus shows up when you're in or attracting toxic love dynamics. And one thing about it, this is why it's always important to ensure that you are healed enough, or at least the best version of yourself that you can be at the time before you even think of entertaining any romantic relationships. Because if not, you can attract somebody who is just as toxic as the things that you're trying to rid yourself of. Okay. This is why it's important to heal those toxicities or tell those toxic things that dwell within you so that way you're not attracting it in a partner or a spouse or a significant other. Okay. Um, so why Osmosis shows up. And Osmosis again is the spirit of lust, obsession, and possessive love. The domain for it is cardinal desire, addiction to attention, and romantic chaos. So why osmosis shows up when you're in or attracting toxic love dynamics. And number two is when there's sexual trauma or repression to heal, which is crazy because I literally just said that. When there's sexual trauma or repression to heal, this spirit shows up because again, you are what you attract, or you attract what you are, I should say. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay, so when jealousy, lust, or temptation are sabotaging your relationships, that's also when osmosis shows up. I'll go over them three again. So osmosis shows up when you're in or attracting toxic love dynamics, when there's sexual trauma or repression to heal, and when jealousy, lust, or temptation are sabotaging your relationships. So the spiritual lesson that osmosis reveals: when you're seeking love through control, seduction, or fear of loss, he appears so you can heal attachment wounds and reclaim a sacred, sovereign relationship with your own desire. I'll read that again. Osmosis reveals, Osmodeus reveals when you're seeking love through control, seduction, or fear of loss. He appears so you can heal attachment wounds and reclaim a sacred, sovereign relationship with your own desire. Okay? So, a sacred and sovereign relationship with your own desire. So, again, therefore, you have to heal yourself before you can truly attract the love that you desire. Because love is not something outside of yourself. The love that you receive will always be the love that you are. And that's the truth. Dang, that's so crazy. Hmm. I don't know why I just got like chills. Anyway, Leviathan is the next one, which is one of my favorites because I've experienced so much, or I've had to deal with so much of the Leviathan spirit, especially being on public platforms, especially talking in front of so many people, especially being what people consider an influencer or someone of influence. Leviathan is the biggest demon that I have personally have to deal with because so many people will try to speak ill will on your name or twist and misconstrue your words for the benefit of their own agenda. And that's not what's going on here. That's not what's going on around here, period. Okay. So Leviathan is the spirit of envy, twisting, and emotional manipulation. The domain for the Leviathan spirit is emotional deception, slander, and deep jealousy. Let me repeat that again. The domain for the Leviathan spirit is emotional deception, slander, and deep jealousy. So, why the Leviathan spirit shows up when your voice is being silenced or your truth is twisted, when your voice is being silenced or your truth twisted. This is why many truth speakers, people like myself, people who speak out, people who speak the truth, there's always that energy, that Leviathan spirit that tries to, oh, well, I thought you meant this. Why would you think I meant something else than what I actually slander? Or I won't say slander. What's the word that I want to twist your words? That's the word that I'm looking for. People will try to twist what you're actually saying. They'll try to twist your words and or they'll try to silence you in some sort of way. So that way the words that you're speaking out, people are not hearing. Okay. That's what that spirit is sent to do. And again, these spirits dwell within low vibrational energies or entities, which are just people walking around, your mom, your brother, your cousins, whoever these people are who don't take care of themselves. They're low vibrational, therefore, it's easy for these spirits to basically ingrain in their soul for real, for real. The control of themselves, literally confirmation. No weapon against me shall prosper. People are in control of themselves. It's these demons that are taking over their mind, body, and their spirits. Okay. These demons that are taking over people's mind, body, and spirits. But let's keep going. Okay, so number two is when others are spreading lies, gossip, or energy entanglement. So, number two, when Leviathan spirit shows up, is when others are spreading lies, spreading gossip, or energy entanglement. Leviathan can also show up like inner envy, resentment, or comparison. Excuse me. Did you guys have any questions about that so far? and I'll make sure I go over them all at the end, do like a brief recap. Okay, we're gonna keep going since you guys got them. Okay, so Leviathan teaches you to untangle your voice from distortion, to speak with clarity, trust your intuition, and rise above emotional games. This spirit can also show you where your own energy is vulnerable to infiltration. Okay, it should be good now. Tap the screen or let me know if you guys can hear me now. I don't know what was going on. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Um, hey, we back in business. We back in business. Period. Okay, bet. So let's keep going. We should be good now. I had to I felt somebody like it was some hate thrown at the lie, so I just had to transmute some motherfucking energy real quick, alchemize some things. So, but we back in business. Okay, so we left off on the spiritual lessons of why Leviathan shows up. So Leviathan teaches you to untangle your voice from distortion, to speak with clarity, trust your intuition, and rise above emotional games. This spirit can also show you where your own energy is vulnerable to infiltration. So if you're someone who basically um someone emotionally malleable or emotionally manipulated or someone who plays a lot of emotional games with you can fall victim to the Leviathan spirit. Okay. So, and I'm going to leave it there and we're going to move on to the last one, which is the spirit of Lilith. And the Lilith spirit is a dark feminine archetype of defiance, rejection, and sacred rage. The domain for the Lilith spirit is rebellion, rejection, and exiled feminine power. So life shows up when you've been silenced, outcast, or controlled, which is why you ever seen those kids, especially little girls whose parents were like super, super strict, and then they grow up to be like these crazy ass females who just do a whole bunch of wild stuff. Yeah, it's because their feminine power was exiled. They felt like they had to rebel. They felt like they were too controlled or silenced. So it's like they started to lash out. That's literally where that dark feminine energy can come from. That Lilith spirit doesn't have to, but that's a common idea that many of us see. So I'll leave it at that. Okay. Lilith shows up when you're ready to reclaim your sensuality, rage, or voice. And Lilith also shows up. Let me say the other two again. So Lilith shows up when you've been silenced, outcast, or controlled. Lilith shows up when you're ready to reclaim your sensuality, rage, or voice. And Lilith shows up when your independence is demonized by others. Okay. So again, the Lilith spirit, the domain for it is rebellion, rejection, and exile feminine power. And Lilith is a dark feminine archetype of defiance, rejection, and sacred rage. Okay. So the spiritual lesson that comes with Lilith is to wake up your suppressed wildness. It's not always a bad thing. No, it's not always a bad thing. All of these demons are neither good nor bad. It's all about how you utilize the energy. That's it. That's it. And once you understand spirituality, that's why they always say good and bad is subjective, because you may need to use your Leviathan demon. You feel me? You might need to use a little bit of Belial energy. You might have to be chaotic in some sort of situations. You can't always be at peace. Sometimes you do have to show up in that dark feminine energy. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why good and bad is subjective. And people who are truly tapped in understand there's really no such thing as good or bad. You just gotta, it's subjective. Like I don't know how to else to explain it, but it's really all subjective. Um, but I always say too much of anything is a bad thing or is not good. If too much of all good is not good, all too much of bad is not. This is why people can do bad things and still be blessed with good in their life, because it's literally a balance. Kind of like that pendulum that I was talking about. It got to swing. If you always doing good, shit can't be bad. If you always doing bad, shit can never go good. But if you too deep into one thing, it's never going to work out for you. Lilith comes to wake up your suppressed wildness, to reclaim your light, excuse me, not your light, but your right to exist unapologetically. Her presence often signals a need to cut cords, say no, and stop abandoning yourself to be loved. And you see this a lot, especially in women, that lack of self love, that lack of showing up for themselves. It's like they'll compromise themselves just to be in loving situations or loving dynamics, whether this is friends, family, or fuck buddies. Okay. But yeah, so a lot of these spirits will come up with like shadow work, shadow integration, which is why I say it's neither good nor bad. It's literally just a shadow aspect of all of us that dwells within. So I never want you to like suppress or look at a part of yourself as, oh, this part of me is bad. No, this is just a part of you that's your shadow side. And once you understand that, it becomes easier for you to maneuver. And that's true. Like just maneuver as a person, period. Okay. So these spirits can be used against you by others, but they may also surface, like I said, as archetypes falling for shadow integration. So, like your shadow side, one day you can just be having a good day, then maybe that dark feminine Lilith energy shows up, or you can be having a good day, and then you want to comment something crazy under somebody's, I don't know, comment something with that Leviathan spirit, maybe wanting to twist or misconstrue somebody's words or something like that. So be sure to just pay attention to that. Um, and when it does show up, what it's trying to teach you. Is this a shadow integration, or is this being used against me, against my free will by someone who's trying to attack me utilizing this spirit and or demonic entity? Okay. So pay attention. Or is it showing up in your shadow side? Or is it showing up with somebody trying to use it against you? But either way, is it show like when it does show up, how is it showing up? And what are you doing with the information that you just received now that you're knowledgeable of these different demonic entities? So we'll do a brief recap. And then if you guys have any questions, definitely feel free to put them in the comment section below. Okay. So Bilal is, oh, let me go up and say it just how we did it. The spirit of lawlessness, rebellion, and self corruption. The domain for Belial is chaos, pride, ungoverned power, and manipulation. I also like to consider the Belial spirit the spirit of self sabotage. So Belial shows up to expose false leadership and toxic power dynamics, like our government, to reveal where you've abandoned self discipline, lack of self government, and to tempt you into self betrayal or false sovereignty. Okay. Number two recap is Osmodius. Osmodius is the spirit of lust, obsession, and possessive love. The domain is carnal desire, addiction to attention, and romantic chaos. So osmosis shows up when you're in or attracting toxic love dynamics, when there's sexual trauma or repression to heal, or when jealousy, lust, or temptation are sabotaging relationships. Number three recap is the Leviathan spirit, which is the spirit of envy, twisting people's words, and emotional manipulation. Leviathan shows up when your voice is being silenced or your truth is being twisted. It also shows up when others are spreading lies, gossip, or trying to energetically entangle themselves in your energy, energetically entangle themselves with you. We don't say it like that. Or when you're battling inner envy, resentment, or comparison. Number four is the Lilith spirit, which is the dark feminine archetype of defiance, rejection, and sacred rage. Lilith shows up when you're being silenced, outcast, or controlled, when you're ready to reclaim your sensuality, rage, or voice, and when your independence is demonized by others. So we have Belial, Asmodeus, Leviathan, and the Lilith spirit. Okay. Belial teaches you to establish inner sovereignty. Asmodeus helps to heal your attachment in your desires. Leviathan teaches you to speak clearly and to detach emotionally. And the Lilith teaches you to reclaim your voice, rage, and your sensuality. Your voice, your rage, and your sensuality. Okay. So this was great. And again, like I said, I was not as prepared as I would have liked to have been for this class. I wanted to give you guys about 7 different demonic entities or spirits to go over, but I did only show up with 4. And if you guys were part of, well, it doesn't matter. Now you guys have this video, so I'll be sure to post this video. It is only about 40 minutes long. I try to keep it as short as possible, filled with as much information as possible for you guys, so that way you can go back, rewind it, take notes, so that way you can truly understand what these demonic entities and spirits are, what they mean, and how they show up in your life, and what they're trying to teach you when they do present themselves. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys for liking this video, and I will see you all on the next episode. Love you. Have a great day.